welcome back to another episode of Evolving Through Experience, where we discussing growth in every aspect, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and beyond. Today, guys, we have a special guest. We have Brittany. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
I'm glad to have you on.
Thank you for having
So
me.
you know we've been trying to get this set up for a while,
Yeah.
but we're finally here, divine timing, so can't complain.
For sure.
So we're gonna be talking about your life. We're gonna talk about your experiences. Obviously, I'm gonna ask questions. I'm sure you're gonna want to ask questions, which you already said. So
I am.
I'm gonna welcome it. It's a dialogue, but it's gonna be about growth in every aspect.
Okay.
So first, I want you to go ahead and just tell the people a little bit about yourself, and then I'm gonna start rolling with the questions.
Okay. Well, my name is Brittany Michelle. I'm from South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a designer. So yeah, it's me in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, cool. We about to go a little deeper.
Okay.
First question I'm gonna ask. I ask this to all my guests, so I'm gonna go ahead and get it out the way.
Okay.
What is evolving through experience in your own words?
I would say evolving through experience is growing and changing based off of your life experiences, based off of what you go through in life. So basically, growing through what you go through.
Okay, I like that. Every guest say it different, and there's really no wrong answer. So I tell everybody there's no wrong answer.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I want to ask you about some of the experiences in your life. You give me two, and then we can go into them about situations that made you evolve, whether they're traumatic, whether they're not traumatic, but truly had a huge impact on your life.
We just gonna dive in it.
Yeah,
huh?
we're gonna dive right in. I
Okay.
told you.
Okay, so I've had so many different experiences. The one that's sticking out to me the most right now is my dad. He was diagnosed with ALS in March 2019. And from his diagnosis, that pushed me to quit my job, which I would say would be the next one. Just quitting my job and going into entrepreneurship. So those
That was the
two,
biggest.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, so
For
with
sure.
with ALS first, and I think I know what that is. I've heard of it before. You could probably correct me if I'm wrong. How do is that just like naturally, like how do people get that,
You know,
or
they don't know.
they don't know?
Yeah,
Okay.
they don't know how you get it, but most of the people from the research that I've done personally were in the military.
Okay.
That was diagnosed with it, and my dad, he was in the military.
He was in the
So,
military.
yeah, I'm not 100% sure how they get it,
Okay.
but you know,
But the military, most people in the
maybe
military.
it might have something to do with it.
I'm not a conspiracy
I don't-
theorist,
right,
but
I'm not.
I mean, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Right.
But okay. So with that being said, first and foremost, if you don't mind me asking, he's better now, or how is like, or
No,
still?
he's still. It's a terminal disease.
Is it okay?
Yeah, so it's like once you get it, they give you 3 to 5 years. Once you've been diagnosed, they give you 3 to 5 years to live.
Okay.
But he's
Still.
still.
I'm
He's
definitely
still
glad.
here.
I'm still definitely glad to hear that, and I think
Yeah.
he's gonna live a lot longer than what their quote unquote timeline is.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I don't think the doctors decide somebody's timeline. You
For
know.
sure.
But that's a whole nother other story. So as far as quitting your job, you said that was the situation that made you also quit it.
Yeah, it's
Like-
kind of like, okay, so I was already going back and forth about, you know, I really don't want to be here, but I didn't have anything else lined up. But once I found out that he was diagnosed, it's kind of like he was 40. How old was he? He was like, I don't know, that made me lie about his age, but he
I
was
got you.
40 something.
He was 40 something.
So
got
he
you.
was still young. So I'm like, okay, you know how they say tomorrow isn't promised, or, you know, live life to the fullest, all the things, you could be gone any day now. I always thought about that as in you could be dead any day now. Like, you don't have to still be alive. But here he is, 40-something. He's still living, but his life is basically over. He's still not living. So, you know, it kind of made me think about my life and, like, what do I want to do? And I didn't want to just work unhappily forever. So it kind of, like, you know, had my wheels spinning. And I just one day up and decided
to leave.
I'm going to leave this place.
So you just jumped out there in the deep end, no life jacket.
No
I commend it.
life jacket.
I support that.
No life jacket.
I support it
And
1,000.
it's been a journey.
It's been a journey.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about it. I think because at the end of the day, some people, like I said, this show not even about entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
but it still relates to everything because it's life experience and evolving that relates to whether you're in entrepreneurship or not.
Right.
So as far as you leaving your job, just obviously jumping out there on the deep end, I commend you. Nip said it best, of course. So with you doing that, what were some of the hurdles you had to overcome?
where do I start?
Let's start from the top. We got time.
I mean, honestly, it's just been so many hurdles. Like I'm still going through hurdles. Like it's just never ending. It's never ending. And I always say like me quitting my job was the thing that kind of pushed me into becoming becoming somebody outside of just what my job was. So, it's really built my character. It's really like molded me. So hurdles, I would say discipline, like having to have discipline, not having somebody to tell me, depending on somebody to tell me what to do, when to do it, how to do it, just kind of discovering myself in that way. Money management, having to do that. Family and friends, like it's so many hurdles.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like life changes 1,000% when you
So with
make a
that being
step
said,
like
I
that.
want to ask you, do you feel like, obviously I say this in a respectful way, of course, the fact that your father obviously got diagnosed with that, unfortunately, but at the same time, fortunately, because now it puts you in a mind space of where you evaluate your life and start making changes for the better. It's like, would you say you look at that as the positive side of it? Because obviously the negative side of it is that he's diagnosed with that, unfortunately, and then they tell him he got 3 to 5 years to live. But the other side of it is now that it makes you reflect on your life and like, when am I going to take my chances as far as jumping out the window to do what I want to do with my life? Because like you said, tomorrow's not promised.
Yeah. I would say that. I could say that. Yeah, it's kind of like, I'm not to sound morbid or anything like that, but it's kind of like the end of, not his life because he's still here, but the end of what his life was
Correct.
kind of started mine.
Started yours, yeah. And what do you feel like more people and really just women in general can do to, before something like that has to happen? What do you feel like the mind state they could get to? Or obviously for you, it was different, but the mind state or gems you could give them to pretty much tell them like, don't wait to start your life or start your goals. Like now is the time, because tomorrow's not promised. So don't wait on, not saying go quit your job tomorrow,
Yeah, please don't.
unless that's what they want to
Oh,
do.
please don't.
Look, if that's what
Unless
you want to
that's
do.
what you- yeah.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. We're not
God
going to
telling you
encourage
to do
it
that,
unless
yeah.
you got a plan figured out. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, what would you say to them?
Honestly, exactly what you just said. Like, don't wait. Like, start thinking about that kind of stuff now. Like, because you're going to look up and before you know it, 5, 10, 15 years has gone past. So just, start thinking about the things that interest you, the things that, you find joy in. And then kind of, seek that out. Get curious with that and kind of find your way. But yeah, don't wait until something drastic happens before you decide to start thinking about that. Think about it now. I would say I didn't used to think about life after, life for me. I don't know. I didn't think about anything outside of what I always saw, which was having a job, going to work, paying my bills, and living, doing something here and there on the weekend. I never thought about life outside of that. So if you have any type of desire, any type of thing within you that makes you, want to seek more out in life, just do it. Don't wait on anything or anybody.
That's a fact. And with that, so obviously that was the first step in making you realize like it's more out there, do more. So what was like the second step of exposure? Because obviously now you know it's more. You, like you just said, you only thought like going to work, paying your bills, doing something on the weekend. So what was like the next level of exposure for you? Whether that was a person, like what was that next level?
It was actually a company, MLM.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Heard about it.
yeah, I joined one of those shortly after I left my job, and it exposed me to a lot of different things. I had never seen that many people that looked like me, living life, traveling, mansions, houses, nice cars. But outside of that, like, just being people that had motion, being people that had things going on, like with life, helping other people, impacting other people. I had never seen anything like that before. So
Did you say that with a little hesitancy?
What?
When you said MLM? Was you nervous to say that?
I wasn't nervous to say. I was just like,
Because the stigmas around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I'm glad you said it, because I think that's the positive side of it, regardless of the allegedness of real mansions, fake mansions, real money, real motion, whatever. I think it's a great, because like you said, it got you exposure, whether it was real or not. For some people, I think it was good because of the exposure. So that's one thing I could always say. I think that's good out of anything like that. Any pyramid, not I ain't gonna say pyramid, but any situation of MLM like type structures or whatever. I think that's good because it gives people exposure, and then that obviously opened the door for you to realize there's more. But now taking things to the next level.
Right.
So from there, where did you wind up transition to after MLM type?
So where did I transition? Okay, so from there, shortly after COVID happened.
Okay, so 2020.
2020, we're
Hey,
in
that was
2020
hectic. We're
now.
gonna double back.
Yeah, because I left in 2019. So 2020. And I'm at home trying to figure out how I'm gonna make money from home. Like what am I gonna do with my life now? Not even just money, but like where does my life go from here? So I'm on YouTube. And I just saw some different videos popping up on the screen. One video came across, you know how it just automatically plays the videos. One video came across and it was this lady and she was designing with what I know now to be epoxy resin. And so whatever she was doing, I was intrigued by it. So, I just went to the store, bought the products, and came home. I'm like just finding,
trying it out.
Yeah, and in my mind, it was just like I need to escape from my reality right now. I just need to find something that interests me to get my mind off of life right now. Like I was just looking for an escape. And so I went home and I tried it out, and I liked it. I liked it. So here now I'm at a point where I have a hobby, and it's fun to me. I show people what I'm doing on Facebook. Just like, look, y'all, look what I'm doing. I'm not an entrepreneur or anything at this point. I'm just,
You wanted planting the seed, but go ahead.
I was planting a seed, but I posted. I'm like, look what I'm making, y'all, and so my inbox started going crazy. I want it. I want this. Can you do this in this color? And so now here I am with the hobby that's becoming like a side hustle.
So you still considering it a hobby? Because at this point it's a business. Like I done seen you done it for many people. You drop doing deliveries for like, and then this thing is like it's not even like you got to focus on one niche of it. You have the ability to do a lot of different things with. Like I said, I seen you doing designing signs for people. So would you still consider it as like a hobby or?
Now I don't.
Now you don't. Okay.
Yeah, now no.
Okay,
But then 2020 it was for sure a hobby. I was just doing it and it was bringing in money and it was putting me at ease. To a certain extent.
And then you obviously you started. So obviously now that's beautiful because like you said, you started it just as a hobby, as an scapegoat, but then it wound up turning like making money for you. So did you find it was just therapeutic at the same time, even still now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still therapeutic. I did have a season to where it wasn't. I had a season to where I didn't want to do anything.
Why is that? Let's talk about it.
Oh, burnout.
Burnout. Okay.
Burnout. I was burnt out and I was to the point where I was like, I don't know if I even want to do this. So what's next for me?
Yeah.
Because I can't do this.
Too many people was asking for it?
I was doing so much work. I had a lot of orders coming in. I was not expecting it to go that way. But I had a lot of orders coming in. And what I know now is I just, I was burning myself out because, the price I wasn't charging what I should have been charging. So,
you charging the right price now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, for now.
For now. Okay.
For now.
I got you.
But, yeah, I just got burnt out. I just, I just needed to find an escape from that. So.
What was that next escape?
That next escape, I think I just, what did I go to? Drinking. I started drinking. I started smoking. I started going out. I started just being outside. Yeah. I just wanted to completely
get away from
Get away.
Yeah.
Completely from people, from work, from everything.
No, got you.
Yeah.
Now, and I appreciate the transparency. I didn't know what you was gonna say next, but I appreciate the transparency, and that's what we're here to talk about.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people have that, have had that, or has that, because I'm guilty of it too. Like looking for escapes, and for different things that happened in the past. So always looking for escapes. And I know that you said that a few times, but I think that's what a lot of people are doing. And at the same time, we have to pretty much combat that in order to evolve. So it's so much of looking for escapes. I think at the same time, finding more positive escapes, if that makes sense, while of still addressing whatever the issue is behind the scene.
Yeah.
So with COVID, I want to ask you, because I think a lot of people don't know, like COVID was, I just want to ask you what was your mental state during COVID? Obviously, I know you had stuff going on, but what was the mental state? The world shutting down, first time, you never experienced that.
Yeah.
So talk about it.
For me, it was relief.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why.
I like that.
So I was so relieved because, like I told you, I left my job in March 2019. So I'm at home trying to figure out what to do. So I'm trying to catch up to like get back to life. And then 2020 comes and now everybody's at home trying to figure out what to do. So I wasn't alone anymore. I'm like, okay, it's like buying me some time. I felt like, but I was just relieved. I was relieved to not have to have that dark cloud over my head to like, try to figure out how to get back to societal life.
Yeah.
So I was relieved.
No, that's good. Honestly, I didn't expect you to say that because I think a lot of people in COVID was just like, it wasn't the norm. It's still not the norm to be locked in the house for all day. They was saying that like you walk outside, you're gonna catch COVID. It's in the air. It was just mad stuff going around, and it forced people to sit down.
I don't think I was concerned about getting sick.
Okay.
Not that I felt like I was, invincible. I don't know. I just wasn't concerned. I never get sick. Not to say that I won't or can't.
What's your immune system? I need that.
I just really never get sick for real. So, I took safety precautions whenever I did go outside. So I wasn't, walking around maskless like it won't get me. But yeah, I wasn't that concerned about getting sick. And then I also, thank God, I also didn't lose anybody close to me from it.
For sure.
I also didn't have anybody, close to me who got COVID. Not at first. Eventually, as it still
went on.
So I wasn't really shook up about it. I wasn't.
Now that's good. I think that's good, and I want to ask you. So with that, I know that was COVID, and I'm surprised at your answer, but I'm glad that is your answer because I don't think I have anybody that ever said that. So now, with that being said, what are some things you do now when you have situations where you're feeling overwhelmed? I know you speak about your anxiety online sometimes. So what are those outlets, positive outlets that you do now besides go getting a 40?
I pray.
Okay.
I locked in on my relationship with God for sure.
Okay, got you.
I did. So I'll pray. I'll talk to my close friends of mine, who I can share certain things with and be vulnerable. And so I talk about it. I used to didn't, talk about it. I used to just keep everything in. And try to figure it out on my own. I would just bottle everything up, which contributed to the overwhelm that I was feeling. So now I released it. I talk about it. I journal, but I locked in with my relationship with God, and that's been taking me
to the next level.
Yeah.
I like that. Continue. That's evolving. That's why I named it EING. So it's a never stopping. It's a never ending process. So with that, I'm glad you said that because that was also another question. So as far as your friend group, right? How did you find this friend group? 'Cause I know you came to Georgia in 2021, which you said. So let's talk about that, about the positive friend groups and then the negative friend groups, because I'm sure you had both.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of the day, they both positive because even if they was negative, you probably got something out of it.
Yeah.
So let's just say both positives, but one on the more less positive.
Okay. How did I find them?
Yeah, how did you find them and then talk? That would be my first question.
How did I find them? Community.
Okay.
So, yeah, I joined certain communities because, like you said, I was new here. I didn't know anybody. So I joined the morning meetup.
Okay.
And, there was always meetups. There was always events and things going on to where I could go and meet different people. So I would go. And, friendships just kind of formed.
Yeah.
It just kind of, worked itself out. Yeah. So that's how.
Okay.
And then there was one particular friend. I met her through a friend of mine from back home.
Okay.
And
so mutuals.
Yeah, mutual friendships.
So that was on the positive side. So what about when you was doing the like just looking for the negative outlets of going out, drinking, smoking?
Oh, that's on both sides.
That's on both sides.
It was,
okay.
Two groups.
Everybody was in one area. Okay.
Yeah.
So at what point did you realize you need to separate? And let's not even say separate. I think I'll say separate for the lack of a better word, because it's no diss to the people that let's just say you outgrown and you're not on that same timing no more, because at the end of the day, maybe they are needing to evolve too. Maybe they're dealing with the same things you was dealing with, and that's the only outlet. So what was that time, like what was the middle point of where you found like maybe I just need to separate for a while, but obviously no diss to them. That's just not my path no more.
I don't really know if there was something that happened per se. It's just kind of like, I don't want to say I just woke up one day and things just changed, but kind of it kind of like evolved over time. I just woke up and I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I don't find this to be fun anymore. It's not helping me. I still come back home with the same, feelings. Yeah. I'm waking up the next morning with the same issues. Nothing is changing. Nothing is evolving. So I had to try something different. They say, if, you keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same result, then that's the definition of insanity. And so I just wanted different. I just wanted more. I just wanted better for myself. Yeah. And so I just kind of slowly stopped responding to messages, stopped going to the places I was invited to, and it just kind of stopped.
Faded out.
Yeah.
No, that's good, and I think other women could take that too. Not saying that everybody is going to be the same way, because you never know. Like some people may live with these friends type thing, so it may not be as easy to just separate. Stop. So that's why I wanted to ask you for your process, because let's say somebody that does live with them, what like one of the piece of advice you could give them to pretty much help them separate from somebody in that situation that's looking to evolve, looking to better themselves, but the friend group they're in right now, or the person they live with, whether that's family, whether that's a friend, is still pretty much trying to pull them along to a side that they don't necessarily need to be.
Yeah. I would say, I feel like this. I feel like when you change as a person, and you start doing things differently, other people will see that. So I just say, like, change outwardly, and start, doing the things that you want to do, and you pull them versus them pulling you.
Correct.
So just start making those different changes. Say no to certain things, and people start getting curious, like, well, what's going on with her? Oh, she's doing this. Like, they start to see the change. They start to see the person that you're becoming, and they become intrigued or interested, or they decide, okay, they for real. They really changing. Yeah. I'm not really with that, so they start to leave you alone.
I got you.
So just literally just change. Literally become the person, or do the things that you want to do. Stop doing the things that you don't want to do, and it kind of works itself out.
Got you. So what brought you, and I want to double back, I told you I was going to ask you this, as far as like you moving to Georgia, but what brought you to Georgia? Outside of what you said, because I think you said it had a part to do with your father, right?
No.
Okay, didn't. Okay, so what brought you to Georgia?
You want to know the...
Yeah, I want to know the truth.
Okay, so, all right, well, I had a situation back at home.
You can elaborate on the situation, or you can't elaborate?
I can.
Because you look like you was like, do you want to know the truth, or you want the
I've never really
version?
talked about this out loud.
Look, hey, a lot of people come on this show, and which I'm thankful for, not to cut you off, and say stuff that they never told anybody. So I'm always thankful for that. So keep the tradition going.
Okay. Okay, so I was in a relationship back at home, and the relationship started getting it was getting hectic, and I got to a point where I was basically scared for my life. And I didn't really feel safe at home anymore. And I didn't feel like that's somewhere that I needed to be anymore. And I've always wanted to move to Atlanta. That was always in the plans. But I feel like this was just my opportunity to go ahead and leave. But yeah, the situation was horrible. Like, I was basically being stalked. Like, he was banging on my doors, banging on the windows, sending me threatening text messages and phone calls, and I just didn't feel safe. And I don't take threats lightly when I know what someone is capable of. So that was my time.
Your scapegoat.
I took the opportunity to just leave.
So a blessing in disguise.
It really, really was a blessing in disguise. And somebody asked me yesterday, they asked me, was I running from something when I came to Atlanta? And I thought about it. I was like, was I running from? But I really feel like I was running too. I was running towards something versus running from something. But yeah, life started getting a little bit crazy. I feel like I was getting pushed out of the city, and I just took the opportunity and I moved.
No, that's good. And I think I'm glad you said that. Again, I appreciate the transparency because most people probably wouldn't want to admit that, but the fact you did, and I'm glad you said you was running to, not from something. And I think Atlanta, they say Atlanta's full, but Atlanta still got some more
It's some
capacity.
space here.
they still building up, still
Yeah.
putting up new high rises. So it's always gonna be
Yeah.
some room in Atlanta. So that's really good to know that. That's why I say that's a good thing because it forced you to do something that you always wanted to do, and that just gave you the next opportunity to take your life to where you also want it to be.
And
So,
I think it was, not to cut you off.
no, go ahead.
But I think it was divine how it happened too, because I always, like I said, Atlanta was always the plan, but I could never find somewhere to live. Like whenever I would look up places, I just couldn't find anywhere. And then this situation happened, and at that moment, my mom had a friend who was living in Atlanta, and he wanted to get out of his lease because he wanted to move somewhere else, to another state, and he wanted to get out of his lease, but he didn't move because he couldn't get out of his lease, basically. And then his landlord allowed us to move into that home, like, so it kind of like opened up right when everything was happening. So I feel like it was just meant for me to.
Nah, for sure.
Be
So
here.
did your whole family came, or was it just you?
My whole family is here.
Oh, everybody
my
came.
My mama's here.
Okay.
My sister's here. My niece is here.
Your dad is here too.
My dad was always living in Georgia.
Okay,
He's
always
in Macon though. He's not. In Atlanta.
Macon. I know where that is.
Yeah.
No, that's good though. I didn't know because I thought you just said you came by yourself, but the fact the whole family came.
Yeah, everybody's here.
No, that's good.
We didn't all necessarily move together. My sister had her family.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, but we literally all moved at the same time.
No, that's good. That's unity. I like that. I love that for y'all.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that with your moms then, as far as them all moving down here. So what is some of the things that your mom has taught you, that the intangibles that she has taught you over these years, that things that always stick with you?
I think my mom is a woman of few words. So the things that she's taught me through her actions, not necessarily verbally, but for sure, like, to never give up. Like, I know it sounds cliche, but I've never seen her like give up. Like, she's been hit with so many different things. She got pregnant in high school. She had me when she was 21. She moved from state to state with my dad because he was in the military. So she didn't really have, I won't say she didn't have family around her raising her kids, because eventually she did when she moved back. But she did a lot of things that a lot of people her age wouldn't or couldn't do. And she just been through so much throughout her life, and she just keeps going. Like, I've never seen her like just stop and give up. So like, she's taught me, like, no matter what's going on in my life, like, just keep going, keep it pushing, keep it moving. Like, it'll eventually work out. But yeah, I think that's the number one thing she taught me, like, to be resilient.
No, shout out to moms then, because I think that's vital. And that's why I wanted to ask you, because things she has taught you, because obviously you're a reflection of her. But now let me ask you, what are some things that you feel like, or she said, and then I'm going to double back to another question I have regarding her, as far as her having you at 21. But what are some things that you feel like you've taught her that she's always told you, or has told you?
She's never told me I taught her anything.
Okay.
She would never admit to that.
Okay.
No,
but it's the truth, though.
It's the truth. I teach her a little something, I think. But I don't know. I don't know. That would really have to be a question that I have to ask her.
Say less. I'm gonna be looking for that answer. And now that you said that, I got two questions to stick on the same topic. What was y'all debating the other day?
Who, me
You and your mom? Yeah, I could have sworn you posted something about a debate. So I want to know, what was the debate again?
So basically, we were talking about, you know how when you're on the way somewhere and somebody's like, okay, I'm up the street or I'm down the street. That's what we was debating.
Yeah.
I feel like if somebody says they're up the street, they're a little ways, it's going to take them a little minute. They up the street. And if they say they down the street, they right there down the street. So we was just debating, because she says she feels like it's the same thing, but I don't feel like it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. I agree with Mom.
I've had some messages. I've had some comments. A lot of people agree with her, but some people agree with me. And some people think it's the opposite.
Like 3 people?
I mean, it was a few.
Few.
But I'm not
Okay.
alone out here.
That's all
I'm
that
not the
matters.
only one that thinks this way.
I got you. As long as they help you sleep at night, I
It
think it's the
helped
same
me.
thing. All right, then. I'm here for it.
I can see where y'all coming from, but I was just trying to, prove my point.
I got you. So if somebody say up the street, you feel like they close? You said
No,
you feel like they out.
They not as far, but they a little ways out. Like they'll be here a little, in a few.
But if they down the street,
they right there.
They right there.
You don't see what I'm saying?
I see why you say that.
If you up a mountain, right?
Yeah.
You up there. But if you're down the mountain, you're right there.
I got you. I just wanted to understand your logic. But I mean, I see why you're saying. I don't know if I agree with it, but we'll let the audience decide.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing, but I do understand why you say that. Up the street, I'm a little ways out. Down the street, I'm on the same block. I got you.
Exactly.
I can understand why you say that. I don't agree with it, but I understand. So with that, as far as her having you at 21, has she ever spoke about that more with you? Because I think a lot of people feel like having a child young is like, oh, you're not supposed to do that. Because truth be told, as a father, I don't think it's a perfect time to have a child. Things happen, and at the end of the day, if she didn't have you, then you wouldn't be here. If I didn't have my son, or if my parents didn't have me at whatever age, you wouldn't be here. So it's always a blessing out of it either way.
Yeah.
So has she ever elaborated or talked about that with you?
About her having kids at a young age?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. Not
Okay.
really.
Not really.
No, she didn't really talk about it, but she did have me on purpose.
Okay.
So I was playing.
Okay.
Yeah. She had my sister when she was 18. And she didn't want my sister to grow up.
She didn't want her to grow
alone.
up. Oh, okay.
Yeah, she didn't want her to grow up without a sibling. So I came.
Hey, my son gonna have one. He gonna be alone. He'll be just fine. There's gonna be plenty of cousins.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you for that at all. I don't have kids, but I have a niece and I have a nephew.
And you see how busy they keep you. What's some crazy stories that you got that where they stressing you out?
Well, they don't stress me out because
they stress you out. They stress you out just a little bit.
They don't stress me out.
All right.
I love spending time with them. I don't ever get stressed out with them because I can always send them right on back whenever it's time. Yeah.
So as soon as they starting to get to that stress level, it's time to go.
All right, it's time for you to go on back home.
I got you. That's probably why you say that though. So but you do want to have children eventually?
That's a good question because I've been thinking about that.
Okay.
I'm 29 now. And it's kind of like, I'm at the point where it's kind of sketchy a little bit to have kids, right? High risk pregnancies and things like that. So I just had this conversation yesterday, actually. I've really been thinking about, would I feel away if I don't have kids? And I really don't think I would feel away if I didn't end up having any kids. I think I would be just fine. But I'm not against having kids.
Not against it.
I'm not against it. But, I just never expected to be at the age of 29 with no kids. So it's kind of like now I have to rethink life again.
You would have said that same statement if you would have had children. You were like, damn, I would have not expect to have children at 29.
You think so?
Yeah. Because trust me, I personally could say I'm sure everybody think that damn, I really got a child. Because I'd be some days oh, I really have a child. I did not expect this. I did not expect this. So then
did you not?
I didn't know.
You didn't plan it?
No, it wasn't planned.
Yeah.
It happened.
Did you plan to have kids in your lifetime though?
At some point, but not as early as I did though.
How old were you?
My son is 2.
Okay.
So wait, yeah, he's 2. I had him, and I'm 24.
Are you?
Yeah. How old you thought I was?
26.
26?
Yeah.
So you thought I was older?
You're mature.
Okay, appreciate it. I get that a lot, but yeah, I'm aging backwards. I'm gonna be 23 next year.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my goal.
So that's how you know when you getting on up there, you gotta.
Yeah, I gotta start taking it
numbers back.
Yeah, I gotta take it back from me. I can't speak for nobody else. Nobody else. But with that, my my other statement was, I know you said, I had a guest on here. I don't know if you know her, but she was telling me about a client of hers, and being that you said that, and I don't say this whichever route you go is obviously it's meant to be, it's divine for you. But she was saying that her client was older and she didn't want to have kids, but now she had this conversation with this client, and she gets older. She's probably in her 40s, and she was just she wished she would have had children. She always thought nah, I'm never gonna have children. But she was she never had the opportunity to, not intentionally, she just never made it a goal to pretty much have children. But now that she's older, she kind of wished she did set some time aside to have a child, because as she felt when she got older, it's just like it's just her. It's like there's nobody that could call to
Yeah.
check up on her, or she can go check up on somebody else. It was just her.
Yeah.
And I don't think she was married, but even it's still the fact like it's nobody like to
You
keep
don't
the
have
legacy going or
anybody.
whatever. So
Yeah.
So I just say that to say that.
And I see that. I do. And then I had a neighbor, growing up in the neighborhood I grew up in. My neighbor, after her, she didn't have any kids. It was just her and her husband. And then after her husband passed away, it was just her. And she has like nieces and nephews that'll come check in on her every now and again, but it was literally just her. And so I do see, you know, even if I was married, if he leaves before me, then it would just be me. And I think about that. I have an auntie, and she said, how old is she? She's in her 40s. And she just had a baby 2 years ago. And I asked her,
hey, what's up? That's good. Hey, she lit.
Yeah. I asked her what made her have a child, like, you know, now, like, why now?
Yeah.
She always said she didn't want any kids. And she said, you know, when she got older, she wanted somebody that was going to still be there, that loved her unconditionally. And I was just like, yeah, I don't know if that's enough for me.
Okay.
But
Hey,
I
that's
get
a
it.
respectful answer.
I do get it. I don't want to be alone. But I think because I'm not in a relationship, I'm not married, I don't have the desire to be a mom because I don't want to just be a mom. I want to have a family. So I think maybe if I was to get in a relationship or get married, that thought would change. I would probably want to build upon something.
Yeah.
But right now where my life is, I just can't see me having a child because I can only see me having a family.
Yeah, got you.
Does that make sense?
I got you. I definitely, bro. Life got a funny way of showing you. So obviously, time will tell.
Time will tell.
I hope whatever your heart desires, I hope that you get that. I ain't gonna say I hope. You will get that. I'm not even gonna say hope. I'm gonna definitely manifest it and put that into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So let's go to the gym though, because I know you said you just got back in the gym.
I just got back in the gym this week.
So before you got back in the gym this week, why did you go to the gym in the first place?
Well, you know, I've been little my whole life, like little. I
tall
know
are you?
I'm still little, but I've been smaller. I'm 5'1".
5'1". Okay.
I'm 5'1", and I didn't gain 100 pounds until I didn't weigh 100 pounds until I went to college. So I've always been very, very little, and I didn't know that I could gain weight going to the gym. But once I discovered it, I was like, okay, let me go to the gym. And then I always just wanted to be healthy and I'm getting older, so I just want to go ahead and start.
Younger. You gotta watch what you say.
I'm getting older.
Younger, but you gotta say younger because it's power in words. So you're saying you get older, you're getting younger.
Okay, well, I'm getting younger.
Okay.
And the number in my age is going up. And I wanted to go ahead and start developing that, the habit of going to the gym and being okay with it.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, if you wait so long to do something, I didn't want to get to the point where it's like, I just, where it's a real struggle for me to go and maintain my health. So, I just started thinking about that, and I wanted to, be fit and be healthy and stay looking younger,
Got you.
So.
Yeah, 'cause I would not have expected you as 29, honestly.
Nobody does. Nobody ever does. How old did you think I was?
Honestly, I didn't give it no thought, but 29 I did not expect. But
Nobody
that's still
ever
young,
does.
though. That's still young because, you got to be careful when you start speaking about women's
It's
ages.
young. It is.
It is. It's very young, I think.
It is.
It is, honestly.
It really is in some ways.
So are you going to come to the vegan side?
So I went vegan in 2021.
For how long?
4 months.
So you lasted 4 months?
I lasted 4 months, and then I started bringing in seafood.
Come on now.
But a part of it was because, I was on my weight gain journey, and I needed some. I know you can have. I know you can still,
You thought the vegan community was out to
incorporate
attack
those
you?
things. Please don't.
No.
I know you
can
can still incorporate those things being vegan too, but I didn't want to shock my body too much. But I started eating seafood. I started bringing seafood back. So I'm still.
So you're pescatarian?
I'm not pescatarian because I still don't eat dairy products.
Okay.
I don't have a label for it.
Okay, that's
some people call it pesca vegan.
Pesca vegan. I never heard that one.
That's what my trainer called it,
Okay.
because he did the same thing.
Okay, I got you.
But,
that's a cool name.
Yeah, pesca vegan. I don't have a label for it. I don't have a title for it. It's just certain things I eat, certain things I don't eat.
I got you. So do you plan on ever going back to eating like chicken and fish? I mean,
I
not chicken
don't.
or chicken. No.
I don't plan on going back to eating chicken or beef or any of
Okay.
those things.
Definitely not pork.
And for sure not.
Thank you.
And I also don't have a desire to either. Like
Okay,
I don't
good.
miss it.
Yeah.
I really don't miss it. I thought transitioning my diet was gonna be hard, but it was not hard.
It was easy for you?
It was easy. It wasn't. I mean, I won't say it's the easiest thing in the world, but it wasn't hard. I didn't have any moments where I was like, oh, I just miss chicken or I just miss whatever. The hard part is traveling and going places and not being able to cook at home.
Yeah.
So you're trying to find places, quick little places to go here and there, and it's just not. Finding places to eat is the hardest thing about the journey.
That's
to me.
a fact.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
So do you ever plan on coming back, just going straight vegan, or you still want to leave in the seafood?
You know, I think I don't want to. I know seafood isn't good for me. I know it's not the best thing for me. So I do want to stop eating seafood. I do plan on coming back. I don't know, but I do plan on it.
No rush. I think people are going to start thinking I'm trying to convert people because I always ask people, are they coming vegan
No,
side?
low key, you messaged me on
I
Instagram,
said that? I said that.
You asked me, was I going to transition to
Oh, yeah,
vegan?
you was trying vegan food. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I probably won't.
Hopefully you do.
But you said you were going to give me some spots. You haven't given me any
I
spots
haven't?
yet.
All right,
No.
Upbeat. In Atlanta, I got you. I'm going to give you a whole list.
Yeah, give me a list because
I've been trying new spots.
Yeah.
I got you.
Because I'm tired of trying the same spots over and over again.
What have you been trying?
Well,
Tell me off camera because they ain't paid no check, so we're not
Okay.
giving them no promotion. My fault.
Okay.
I'll say Upbeat because that's really
I've
my
never
favorite
heard
spot.
of Upbeat.
No worries, I got you. I'm gonna get you right with that. So before we wrap, any last things you just want to tell the people? Any last words you want to say to the world regarding evolving, regarding anything?
I just strongly encourage you to evolve because I know, I think evolution happens in a small portion of us in the world. Like, not everybody decides to actually evolve. Like, not everybody looks at their life circumstances and the experiences that they go through and decide, I want to change or I want things to work out differently for me. Some people just stay in it or, go backwards in it versus choosing to let that experience change them and evolve them and allow them to grow into a different person. So I just encourage everybody to, decide to go through everything that they go through.
Do you feel like, with that being said, do you feel like sometimes, I'm sure you probably agree with this, you give great advice? Because what you said is actually a factual, but it's actually harder to digest it for ourselves.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's easy to say.
Yeah.
It's real easy to say.
Yeah, facts.
But to actually do it, it is challenging. It is tough. But I don't think it's impossible because we do it.
Yeah.
It's not the easiest thing, but it's possible.
Facts. Got you. And with that being said, I actually got one thing I also want to ask. Who is somebody in book? So you can give me a person, both or just one. Somebody that had a huge impact on your evolution in the sense of where you're at now and where you also want to go, or like books that you've read or reading that's also helping you pretty much evolve and prevail in your life.
The book.
We could do both. Or any
I
person?
can do the book.
All right, cool.
I can't think of a person.
Okay, I got you.
The Bible.
Okay, got you.
I gotta say that.
That's your answer.
That's been helping me to evolve and grow and become a different person and see life in a different light. That's what I say.
Beautiful. Hey, well, where can people follow you at? I'm gonna also put it at the bottom, of course.
You can follow me on Instagram. Should I be looking in this camera?
You can. It's got you the whole time either way. So
you can follow me on Instagram at @x_Brittany Michelle. On YouTube, Brittany Michelle. Facebook, everything Brittany Michelle. TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
Don't you have like an underscore or something?
X_Brittany Michelle.
Oh, did you say that?
Instagram,
Okay, I didn't know if you said that. Okay, I got you.
X_Brittany Michelle on Instagram.
They'll be at the bottom too. So if y'all enjoyed another episode of Evolving Through Experience, also if y'all need any designs, she is definitely the go-to. Y'all could obviously follow her, check out her page. But if y'all enjoyed another episode of Evolving Through Experience, make sure you follow us, you tag us, you share it with a friend. And if you're not evolving, you're dissolving. So why not start today? Evolving Through Experience. Catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.